not. I guess it's silver 5. You know, it's not standard, but it should be pretty straightforward. Like probably not silver 5 to be honest, but top laner takes grass, mid laner takes like Thunderlords or some shit. AD carry takes fervor, usually not like all the time, but you know. But
Yep.
like you definitely, hopefully this works. Uh, definitely need to look at their summoners and. Okay, thank God. Okay, well. Alright, so. Just let it play. Okay, so the first thing you look at is. Alright. So the first thing I would look at is. Like. All the summoners. So. Their top laner has. I gotta turn it down. Okay, their top
30
laner has
seconds until
TP, which
minions
is pretty
spawn.
standard.
Mm.
Mid laner doesn't have like a lot of mid laners take like an exhaust or a heal or a barrier, you know? Like
First
Yep.
maybe not
blood.
Silver 5, but it's like pretty good to know that he doesn't have like a summoner that's defensive, you know? He has
Yep.
Ignite and Flash.
Okay.
They've exhaust bot lane, so any all-ins bot lane, they're gonna be able to reduce your damage a lot. Like your E if you're an assassin. If you get exhausted right before your burst, you won't be able to like
Minions have
do
spawned.
anything.
Okay.
So ganking bot's like a risky thing early because if you get exhausted early game, all your damage is like already low anyway. It's because you don't have items
Okay.
yet. So let's watch. What were you doing? Somebody already
Uh,
died.
yeah. We ganked mid lane.
Okay. So you have some money already. Well, the good thing about, I mean, you didn't get the first blood, so that's fine. But you got an assist, which gives you a little bit of XP, so that's always
I
good.
I gave over the first blood.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just gives a longsword to your AD. It's good. Wait, did you smite this?
No.
Huh?
No. I didn't smite it because I go over to invade.
Oh, okay. If you're gonna invade, then yeah, you just tell your bot lane smiteless, and then you go in for the Yi here. Oh, this
Yep.
should be a kill probably.
Think it was. I can't remember.
You have smite, right?
Yeah.
You know your smite
Just
damage at level 2?
yeah. It's 410.
Yeah, 14. Okay, so you get the. Yeah, there's no way that wasn't a free kill. Okay, so I would say that's good, right? Let me
Yep.
just stop right there because like one thing that's hard for people to understand is like that's a good strategy, right? That's like good because you're like you have a stealth champion, you got a smiteless leash, your smite's up. But like the only bad thing about it is like you can't be 100% sure that Yi's gonna start doubles and go to red, right? Like you're not 100% sure. So like your plan is to probably like invade him, kill him, or if he's not there, take his red, right? What's your smite
Yeah. I ward at 120 on the buff.
on the buff? Okay.
Yeah.
When you play Eve, or just
Yeah.
when I always.
Just on Eve because Eve's the
Okay.
only champion I really invade with.
Okay, yeah. They're like Nidalees do it sometimes. I don't know what champions you play, but I actually used to be like a like not one trick Evelynn, but I used to play like pretty much only Evelynn until I hit like D2, and then I would start playing like meta shit. So
Okay.
I know a lot about Eve, and one thing I will say about something like this is if for some reason this whole like this is basically cheese, right? Like I consider this
Yep.
cheese. If
Yep.
for
I
some reason
know.
this doesn't work, you are absolutely fucked for the rest of the game. Like if
Okay.
their jungler has any brain at all, like if you did this, I'll put it this way: if you did what you just did to me, you would have already lost the game for your team because against an Eve, the only thing I ever worry about is the level 2 cheese. So
Okay.
I would have started doubles. I would have walked to red. Well, there's like tons. I didn't even have to start doubles. I probably wouldn't even start doubles. But if I did start doubles, I
Uh-huh.
don't know. I don't play Yi, but I would just go to like wraiths, right? And then when you're looking at red, like so, here's what your path would be. You'd go
Well.
to red from the bush that
Mhm.
you're right in right now. You
Yep.
start the red with no health, like with your full health because you got a smiteless, and then you would smite the red and gain some health back, but you'd still be like half because it's Eve, and you've probably played Eve before. You know she can't
Yeah.
jungle early game really well. And then
Yeah.
I would just fight you. Like I would be level 2, you'd be level 2 as well still, because you only did 2 camps. And I would just fight you, and there's just like 0% chance that. And the reason Eve's so good at ganking junglers is she gets a stealth jump on them, like they don't see her right away. So if
Mhm.
Yi finds you, like I would like if I was Yi, I'd do this camp, and then I would go around like this, right?
Yeah.
You
I've
know what I
had
mean?
that happen to me before, and I got killed.
Yeah, if that happens, you're like against. If it was against me, you'd be fucked. Like another jungler, if they get ahead, they probably don't know what to do against Eve, right? Because people think like, oh, she just stealths everywhere. But like, what I would do is, which this could help you too if you ever play against Eves and you struggle, is I would take that first blood money. You know the green smite that gives you wards.
Yep, the
I
trackers.
would back right after I killed you here. My whole bot side jungle is gone, right? So
Yep,
in my head, these are the camps I know that are up. My top side jungle, your top side jungle, your bot side jungle. So in my head, you're either going to back and then you're going to be like, oh shit, I need blue buff to clear, right? You know what I mean?
yep,
So like if I killed you here, you're 90% of the time are going to go to your blue. Like any jungler, even like diamond junglers will still go to their blue like up till like D1 because they don't know like how to outthink the other jungler. So then I would
okay,
go straight to your red buff. I would
yep,
take your rates, take your red buff. I would work my way away from where you are, right? You would do blue,
mm,
maybe wolves, probably yeah. And then this would be gone by the time you got here. This would definitely be gone by the time you got here. These I might be doing them by the time you got here. And then I would be at least a full level ahead of you with an item advantage because I got first blood on you. And I would have the green smite. It lets me put wards for Eve. You put it like, I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but for when you play against Eve, you put the wards on her camps, not in like these bushes over here or
yeah,
here. You put them on her camps. So I'd have wards on the camps, and I would have like, you know how you smite wraiths and
yep,
it's gone. It gives you the ward clear. This
yep,
wouldn't be here for you to do. I would take the wraith. The big wraith's really important against Eve to take. Um, this would be warded, or at least like the red book. Probably not here because you have no red, so you wouldn't be able to clear, so I wouldn't see you. Probably have this warded because I would leave the small one, so you'd have to like break stealth to see them, you know.
yep.
So and then I would be 4, maybe close to 5. Like I'd be really close to 5, and you'd still be 3, or yeah, you wouldn't be 4 yet because you just did 2 camps and those 2 camps. You need one more camp. So you would be absolutely fucked against a good jungler. So you
I've
have to
had it
keep.
happen before where I've invaded and they've gone straight to my red and took my camps.
Yeah, so you understand like it's not like this is called cheese because it either works and like you tilt them and you kind of get ahead, so it's kind of like a getting ahead twice, you know what I mean? Or it just
I don't do
fails.
it against all junglers though. I only do it
Okay.
against certain junglers. Like Yee's one of them. Cause
Yeah,
he
you
always
can do it
starts red.
against Yi because he gets kind of low in his first clear.
Yep.
Or at least his first buff before he gets heal. So I'm just letting you know that there are like things that good junglers can do to do that to you.
Okay.
So because the situation you'd be in if you were against me is these would be gone. I'd be a level ahead of you. Where would you go to farm next? You could the next thing that would be up is your Gromp. So you'd have to go from doubles. You'd have to base with like no money, like 220ish gold, and then go all the way to doubles. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
or Gromp, sorry. So you have to keep in mind that like the more you climb, which will happen with just playing the game more, you'll climb more. Just by like learning and getting better. That the better the other jungler will get too. So cheese won't always work. Like I know people still cheese at like diamond 2 and 1, so it's like really common, but it won't always work. So let's keep watching. Like that lead
Okay.
you just got though is really good because like what do you think you should do next now that you killed him at his red buff?
I went blue and then I went straight to red.
Okay, let's see how much money you get.
I think, if I remember.
So like okay, you've already like regardless of all that shit I said about the cheese and shit, you've already fucked up because after you kill him in his jungle, you know where he started, right? Like technically you know, right? He
Yeah.
started doubles. Like just from the
Yep.
path that you did, you figured he
Yep.
started doubles and then went red.
Yep.
So what I would say is why wouldn't you take his rates after, you know what I mean? You have to keep that in mind.
Okay.
There's no their bot lane's in lane, you see them. There's minions on their bot lane. Their
Okay.
Caitlyn's half health. So she can't
Yeah.
come fight.
I
Your mid lane's pushing.
Okay. The
Okay.
um the
So
reason why because in previous games when I've tried to get greedy and take Wraiths or another camp I
yeah,
get
yeah.
collapsed on.
You get collapsed on. Yeah, that's why I'm saying you got to look at the lanes. Like always, you got to look at the lanes. Like I would say it's not. Um, I would say it's not optimal if like if this Vigar's like pushed into tower, right? Because then he can easily be there. He has nothing else to do. Or if this bot lane shoved in too, you know. But
Mhm.
in the current situation for this current game, right after you killed him, instead of walking like all the way around here, wasting a bunch of time, you just walk straight up to these wraiths and you take them.
Okay.
And I don't know if yeah, your trinket's not up because you ordered. You said you did late ward, so it won't be.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it is back up. You said you ordered a 120.
Yep.
Oh no, it won't be up till 320. That's fine. So you have
Okay.
no ward to put down, but you can just like what I would do is I would come here, and if you're scared about getting invaded on or whatever, which you shouldn't be because you just look at the lanes, but If you are, you Q him once and then kite him into the brush, and just
Okay.
kill him. So like that puts him even more behind. Like especially a jungler that like likes to go farm heavy. Taking a camp from them not only negates them getting a camp, but it gives you a camp. So it's like a two net gain of two. So that's really good to do. But yeah, going to your
Okay.
blue's fine right after that.
Okay.
Just because you want the buff to like be able to farm and stuff more.
Okay.
So you have to assume this Yi, like I don't know what he's gonna do because he's silver 5 or whatever, but you have to assume he's gonna go to his blue.
Yep. The stream has gone blurry. Just let you know.
Oh fuck, it's sick. Also, like,
Okay. It's good now.
yeah, I restarted it. One thing that's really important about the how I was talking about loading screen, you need to look at their summoners and the matchups and stuff.
Yep.
The more you play the game, the more you'll understand like your matchups in your solo lanes and your bot lane, like what they need from you at certain times in the game. Like I obviously don't know much about the Fiora matchup with Aatrox because Aatrox isn't really played a lot. But one thing I'll say is like Fiora, if she ever gets a kill early, it's just insane to try to duel her. Like other people they just keep dying. It's like Aurelia. They're duelists.
Yep.
Like they ever get ahead early, it's so hard for the other person to deal with them. So
Okay.
that could be a place that you could be looking for early. Because I was looking at the mini map. If you weren't trying to cheese a standard like double buff or a standard double golem into red buff into level 2 ganking top with red buff would have
Yep.
just probably been first blood for free. And if Fiora gets a first blood or at least some sort of pressure early in lane, she
Mhm.
either just tilts the fuck out of somebody by zoning them, or she just keeps killing them because they don't know how to play defensively and like just give up some CS for XP. So
Okay.
you don't always like depending on the game, you don't always have to like cheese someone. That's
Yep.
just something to keep in mind. So well, you should know that Yi's probably gonna go to his blue. That's another reason why I said taking these was good because he would never probably go there. So right
Okay.
now he's at. Is it lagging for you?
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just the replay. I think it's. Is it okay now? It's fine for me.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay. Let's see what happens here. This is looking pretty free to be honest. Oh, you showed yourself, but
Yep.
it's fine. He's gonna
Because I
not.
thought the fizz was going to go in, so I leave the kill.
Yeah. No, that's really good to leave it. He didn't have flash from the level 1. Like I don't know if you knew that or what, but like regardless, flash or not, that's a free kill because he doesn't have a defensive summoner like I was talking about earlier.
Yep.
That's just abusing a laner that's playing really stupid, which will happen at Silver 5,
Yep.
because that shit will not happen the higher up you get. Like there's no reason for him to be up that far when the wave's like at the other guy's tower.
Okay.
So are you gonna go to? Oh, I don't like what you just did here. So like one thing I used to play Eve a lot, right?
Yep.
And one thing that you should always do is make sure your passive turns on before you leave like this little camp area. So you smited
Okay.
this, right?
Yep.
All right. So right now 100% there's no ward on your wraiths. Okay.
Okay.
So you need to stand here and wait. You need to just wait until
Okay.
your stealth comes on, which is I think early game they changed it, so I don't know 100%, but I'm pretty sure it used to be 6 seconds all the time. Now it's like 8,
Yeah.
7, then 6.
Yeah. It gets lower.
Yeah. So you need to stealth right here. So here's what's gonna happen. Your stealth doesn't like look. This is why it's bad. Like sure you get this ward right, but the whole point of being Eve is you don't have to worry about wards. So
Huh?
like doing this is like giving up your whole position and any pressure you have on the map in the early game.
Okay.
Also, like if you wanted to cheese invade this Yi because he's level 2, it's gonna be less likely to happen. Like I don't know, maybe a silver 5 player doesn't even see you because they don't look at the mini map. You know what I'm saying? But
Yep.
I would just leave if I was this Yi.
Okay.
So just keep in mind your passive time is basically what I was trying to say. So you don't even go for the E. So like if it was me, like in your situation, this fed this early in levels, like you're fed in XP right now, so your base damage is gonna be really high. I just would have waited here, got my stealth, we saw the ward here, and been like, good, they don't think I'm here, because you were stealth, and then walked in and fought the E with blue buff. Because
Okay.
look at your top lane. You always want to look at your lanes. This lane is pushed in, right?
Yep.
There is 0% chance. This guy has no passive. There's 0% chance
Okay.
he's gonna come down and help this fucking Yi.
So what I thought here was my thought process was that he's warded that bush and he's run after my red, so I ran back to the red to see if he was there.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, okay, most Yis like I'll just tell you how like from his mindset probably is like All he needs to do is just get his items, you know? Like, he just needs to farm. Any risky shit he tries to do is, like, not gonna fly, especially when you're already level 4. You hit 4 ganking mid, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yep.
like, he's only 2. You have to keep in mind, like, the camps that he's done, you know what I mean? He didn't
Yep.
even get red XP. You smited it, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So, he's so behind in XP, there's no way he's even 3 until he does 1 camp in his blue side, or 2 camps in his blue side, which he just finished. So if you did what I said in like stealth tier and
Uh
then
huh.
ran through, like didn't take the like 8 seconds to auto this a bunch, you know, and all that
Uh
shit,
huh.
he's
Yep.
probably just finishing ground for still doing it. So then you catch him right here at blue with and his W is probably up, but it's not a big deal. Like you can still just shit on him. You have double buffs still. Yeah, you should. There you have double buffs and he has what? Not even blue. And he's a level behind. Being a level up in the jungle is extremely important early game.
Okay.
Also your smite situation is I'm not sure. Okay, you have 1 charge. So that blue buff's yours. You smite for 450 at this level, he smites for 430. So
Okay.
just always keep that kind of shit in mind. Like you like some people think like the pressure they gave to the other jungler early is enough to keep them behind long enough, but why not abuse the lead you already have given yourself, you know?
Okay.
But if you thought he was at red, then yeah, you don't want to lose red. But you just have to keep those things in mind I was talking about.
So I noticed
Also,
he's
if
in
you
there, so I'll go to the safety of the bush.
yeah, so you don't get faded.
Yep.
That's fine. Just like I was saying, you're probably overestimating like what he can actually do to you, since
Okay.
he was 2 when you last saw him on the map. I like the kiting. Like a lot of people at your elo don't kite camps, right? But you're
Huh?
not like doing it properly with Evelyn. I'll show
Okay.
you. I'll show you something like that's better to do. So when you
Okay.
queue this, let me pause it because it's lagging. So when you queue this, you want to like stand here, right? Like where my
Yep.
cursor is, not where you are, because you're gonna queue both. Like right now, look at that queue.
Oh, that's what I was trying to do, but I wasn't getting it right.
Okay. Do you play a lot
Um.
of Eve or no?
Yeah, he's my main. So
Okay.
as you noticed on the blue buff at the start of the game, I lined them up so it was hitting the two small ones while I
Yeah,
was.
yeah. That's why I didn't
Yeah.
say you were doing it wrong. It was good.
So it's just a misplay, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. But that's not even what I was gonna talk about. Because I mean, you know to put the Q through both trees, but I was just
Yep.
mentioning it in case you didn't. And so like right here, when you turn, right here,
Yep.
when you turn for this camp and you E it. Well, what runes do you go? Like standard E runes?
Yeah, the AP, AD, and armor.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's what you should go. Like the whole purpose of like kiting camps with Eve is so you do the Q procs in between your E buff. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So once you eat it, you just kept kiting with Q, right? But
Yep.
actually, Eve's damage in the early game is all from her E auto attack spam. That's why you go 15 AD.
Okay.
So you're gonna want to like when you pulled it in this bush up here, you wanted to turn and hit E and then just kill that thing. It would be dead by now, and you would be higher health actually.
Okay.
But yeah, overall, for like the level of play this game is, you've been doing extremely well in the early game. Like this whole map's probably afraid of you. This Yi doesn't want to ever find you, so it's really good so far.
Okay.
But obviously, you know, there's a lot of shit that could be fixed. That like this game, like if I was playing Eve this game, it would be the game would be over right now. The game would be done. I'd
How?
be, huh?
How would you have
Just
made it
from
over?
the stuff I was talking about, like how to invade
Oh,
him,
okay.
like
Yep.
take his other camps, you know, stuff like that. Like I
Yep.
would have this guy tracked like the rest of the game. I would know that he's at double golems right now, and he would be 02 or 03, and I would be level 6 probably, and I would have like red smite plus you know the move speed part of this.
Yes, the wisp.
Yeah, exactly. So jungle, like while you're doing well, like there's always like more. You know, it's all about
Yep.
being super efficient, like taking every little advantage you can. So like while you feel like this game, like I've done really well, there's all that stuff I pointed out that can be fixed still.
Okay.
Let's see. So I already don't like what you've done from this base, which happens a lot when I help jungle. Is you
Okay.
haven't actually even done a camp since you've gotten your base
Uh
up.
huh.
You went straight like the route you took. was extremely bad because you went straight from base all the way through gate, right?
Mm.
But you passed two camps, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Into the mid lane. And you didn't check any bush for a pink. When you're Eve, the only way to get behind once you're ahead is you get seen on a pink and the jungler shows up and counter ganks you. That's the only
Okay.
way to give up your lead. So you didn't check this bush, didn't check this bush. I mean, you're probably gonna check this bush, but
I ran through the one coming to river just now.
this one.
Yeah, not the one in the middle, the one off the river, just above
Oh,
it.
the banana,
Yeah, I ran through it. Yeah,
the banana bush. Okay, good,
yeah,
good. Were you like act? Do you remember if you were actively looking for pinks though, or if you were just like routing that way?
yeah. The one that I get caught out by all the time is the one in the middle of the river, which I didn't check.
That one? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
all the
most
time.
common one against Eve players.
Yeah,
Against
all the
anybody.
time.
Yeah. So one thing I will suggest this helps me extreme. I used to play a lot of Eve, like a shit ton of Eve. Is I would just when I was running through, I would hold Shift, and it stops your moving, and you start hitting a ward. Then I would be like, why am I not moving? And I would look at it and I'd see, oh, there's a ward there.
Okay,
So I don't know what your settings are, but by default that is attack nearest target, and I hold it when I'm playing Eve and I'm going through bushes. And since the
okay,
pink ward changed a couple seasons ago or whatever, where you can see pinks, I do it even when I jungle now a lot.
okay,
So this is probably gonna work, but I'm saying not very efficient because you passed two camps. You know what I'm saying?
okay. So the camps are better than the gank, yeah?
I mean, this guy's already died twice, man. Like
Yeah, he's and then at this point,
Fizz can kill him anytime he hits six. You know what I'm saying? Like the amount of
yeah,
pressure you're giving him here is like.
this guy's tilted. He's actually swearing at the fizzing game.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, Fizz can probably just solo him once he hits six. Like, it's
Yep.
time to help out this bot lane after you get six or something, or try to
Okay,
get a level off these camps and help the bot lane out. Like, if you were looking at this is like one thing I never see anyone below like Diamond 3 do, and it's they never ever ever look around the map at their lanes ever ever. Like your F keys by default, click on each player on your team so you can see their
uh,
situation of their lane. This lane was the freest gank after you did the bot lane camps. Like the most free low gank, like the freest kill or at least all sums because they are so pushed with a Caitlyn, with a no health Thresh, with hardly any mana. He wouldn't be able to hook, flay, and do his the lantern. So
I didn't go bot because I didn't know where Yi was as well.
yeah, you don't know where he is, but that's what I'm saying. Like about the whole tracking thing, about going to
Yep,
their jungle and all that shit. That
yep.
stems from that. Like I would know he's at double golems. But yeah, it's fine. I mean, there's always stuff to work with. It's a good thing. This should work. Like unless he has flashback up. Yeah, he should have flashback up from the level one, but it should still work. He's not even he's not playing the game. He's just running. So it's fine. You're easy. Yeah, nice. All right, so you only got 240 gold. That's what I was talking about. So these two camps are like what 180, 195. So 50 more gold, a little bit of XP on the kill, not really much since he's behind. Also, you can kite these out really easily. Wolves.
Yeah, I usually do, but the thing is, I get lazy as I go on
Yeah,
through.
that's just something that not good to do.
Yeah, I know. I look at it sometimes myself, and I'm like, what am I doing?
All right, this is another thing about the stealth. We'll go back, but I won't like harp on it more than once, one more time at least. But this is pretty important. Is you hit W right? So your pass is not gonna come off again. Like you refreshed it.
Yeah, I was just
So
trying
they
to
see.
hurry down with the fizz.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're doing. I'm just telling you, like, it
Uh,
inclines them to move, like, a certain way. If they have any more brain capacity or any, like, they're any healthier and to run, they could just both run into the fizz instead because they know you're coming, and
okay,
they could play it way differently if they're better players. They just like literally gave you the kill. One of them could have based, and they just kept they stopped their base.
okay.
So always want to make sure passive goes off. Also, with Eve, I'll just like nothing's came up this game about it, but one thing that's really, really, really powerful is lane ganking, because you can just like creep into bushes and obviously there's not pink in them. If there is, you can see it right away. But it's
Okay.
extremely strong to do with Eve, which I feel like most people below like plat don't even lane gank, so it's not a big deal.
I do it, just not as often as I probably should.
Okay. So
It's
yeah,
all about abusing the passive, isn't it?
yeah, Eve, yeah, that's like the main reason I play Eve, or I used to, just like
There's
her
a bad
passive.
Find me. I called dragon and I had no mana, so I end up
Yeah.
dying here.
Yeah,
Not
you're
the
probably
dragon.
gonna die. Well, mostly the reason you're gonna die here is not because it's a bad call or whatever, but you're not letting somebody else tank.
So yeah, I die here as I run back out. The Caitlyn hits me.
That was a Q. That was a Q through no creeps, or no people, so it's full damage. It's unlucky. But yeah, when you're low like that, calling the dragon's fine if you have teammates, right?
Yep.
But you can't tank it, like, at all. You got super low. You tanked it till you couldn't tank it anymore, you know? You might as well stay healthy, or they're just going to be
Okay.
more inclined to stay and kill you.
Okay. So I apologise to the team at this point for obviously, but I think we come out okay.
I don't know why Triss is behind him. Probably just rough lane against Kate. Luckily this E's behind. If he was 6 there, it's like a triple probably, to be honest. You're 6 now. I want to see a kill probably here. Right when you hit 6 is when, that's when like Eve becomes like the most like annoying champ. Not only can she stealth up on you, but she has a slow, so if you flash, you're still gonna get caught by her speed.
Okay.
Um,
Wasted time.
yeah. The routing, you know, that's just something everyone's got to work on. Any level of play. But I probably would have went to the red, to be honest.
Mm. I was waiting for the fierce
Uh huh.
back to blue, and then I
Yeah.
was like, oh, there's a raptor camp here. I'll get that
I got the wolves.
raptor camp walls, yeah.
Yeah. No,
And
I'm
then
just saying, like, when you came down and 3 people were here with no health,
yep,
I probably just would have ran straight to the red. Like, you either kill the Yi, or all 3 of them are on you and you have ult, and you at least trade 2 for 1, because your ult gives you like 100 shield per person, 150 at level 1 actually.
yep.
I didn't know it was that much.
So I was gonna trade over the blue, but the fizz said for me to take it, so I did.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I would. So like, yeah, just take the blue. Like, who gives a fuck? I don't give. Unless he's like super fed. He's pretty fed, but you are too. This is pretty free again. Yeah.
It's froze on mine.
Okay, one sec. Try it again. Oh, you see my cursor moving?
Yep.
Alright, I'll back it up a little bit. Because this gank was. I'll just say, like, this mid laner's playing so bad that he made the gank easy, but you played the gank really bad.
Did I?
So, okay, so your stealth's on.
Yep.
This is. Also, do you ever go smite slow on Eve?
Uh, yeah, but not against a year.
No, I guess he's fine, yeah. I was just going to mention that smite slow is pretty decent. I would go red as well this game, but I'm just saying in general, it's not
Uh-huh.
that bad of a pick. Because some people just think red's just always the best. So this is, like, what you're doing here, this is good. Like, waiting for the stun to wear off is good, right? But what I didn't like about this is, I'll show you. Okay, right when he sees you,
Yep.
you like you like showed him where you were before Fizz. Like, this is not like your fault technically, because you don't know when Fizz is gonna go in, right? Like, you don't
Yep.
know exactly when he's gonna go in. But
Okay.
the thing I didn't like is you need to smite him right now. Right when the exclamation mark comes up, you need to
Huh.
smite before any damage, because the whole part about Eve is she's an assassin.
Okay.
Her first Q, her first E is like a fat amount of burst. So this gives you more damage on your burst. So you want to
Okay.
smite before anything. So you ulted right away. Like, this is
Yep.
like the one common mistake I see, like, like, even Diamond 5s, like, make. You used your only way to, like, actually CC him before he used any summoners.
Okay.
So, like, you had a free smite QE here. This is
Okay.
what is optimal. The free smite QE. He has no stun up. You can get as close to him as you need to do it.
Okay.
Now you smited. You smited after your most damaging spell, which is your ult. Which you
Okay.
should have used anyway. So obviously, like I said, he played it bad. You got a free kill.
Uh-huh.
But every little thing matters. Like, if he was any less behind, less tilted or anything,
Yep.
and didn't just waste his stun for no reason mid, didn't stand so far up all the time, the optimal way to gank this is you walk behind him, keep your stealth, don't reveal yourself. Right when you reveal yourself, smite, QE, stand on him and auto run.
Okay.
You'll do more burst than you did. You would have did more damage than you did with your ult.
Okay.
And it makes it so even if he even if their jungler shows up and he flashes away, then you have to focus the jungler, or you have to choose like which to go for. You still have that ult to slow him, so you can like. So technically, what like you would do is smite, Q, E, auto attack him. He optimally he would flash away. You would ult, and then you would W, and then you would catch up to him and finish him with a Q and an auto. So
Okay.
then he's not only you've used your ult and your smite. No, you didn't have to use your flash. He flashed. So you basically for the exact same shit, you get a free summoner. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
If he plays it better than he did, but this guy's obviously tilted. Probably doesn't give a fuck anymore. So just keep that in mind. Like it's like one champion I used to play all the time, like just for fun to get like I would like I would just try to get to diamond like every like season 3 like with every new smurf I had only playing Jarvan, right?
Uh huh.
And it's kind of like you have to think about that. Like, you know how Jarvan has like an ult that just traps someone?
Yep.
So like really really bad Jarvan players are just people who are like lower than like plat 5 probably will just they'll just walk up, they'll just walk in, EQ like say this is where Jarvan is. They'll just walk up, EQ to get into lane, ult the guy, right?
Yep.
And then the guy just flashes and then they're trapped in their own ult unless they turn it off immediately, which bad Jarvans won't. And it's just like it's good, like you got a flash for free, but it's not optimal. Like what I learned the hard way playing Jarvan is you just come up behind him like this, you walk up to him, you don't even have to EQ right away. You walk up to him like you did, you W for the slow, then they use an escape, you EQ, and then they flash and then you ult. So like there's always no matter what champion, like any meta, any season, there's always more optimal ways to play the gank depending on your kit and their kit. So just always have to keep that in mind. Because like
Okay.
a good player that you gank right here is gonna get out like a lot if you play it like that. So really good to keep in mind. But I like that you went mid. Like some junglers, they feel like I've done my job for mid. Fuck it. Let's farm up myself. So the really important thing about Eve is like putting pressure on early, and I feel like you've done that enough to scare the you got enough of a lead for your team that should be a pretty easy coasted win. So probably not
Mm.
gonna want to go over more at this point because it's more about like snowballing the early mid game when you play a champ like Eve. But if you have
Yep.
like other games, like other champions that are better in the mid late game and longer games, not stomps,
Yep.
But hopefully like some of this at least gave you another opinion or some sort of fresh ideas to like think about in the future.
Uh huh.
Yep.
So this happens quite often. I'll start like this, and my score will be good, and I'll put pressure on the game, but we still lose. It's more what can I do in that situation?
Yeah,
Where,
that's a question I get a lot, and it's like really game by game basis. Like, what's your team comp? What champion you are? What's the enemy team comp? Do they have a split pusher? Like, do they have a bunch of tanks? Do you need to team fight with your team comp? Like, you know what I mean? There's like,
yep,
what if you want me to explain for this game though? Just to give you
yep,
an example.
yep,
So like this game is pretty much over if I was playing Eve right now, right? If I just like sat down at your computer, I was 314 34 CS Eve, like what would I do to close out this game? Is I would constantly keep buying pinks,
yep,
switch to sweeper to clear out any vision, look for deep picks on like the first thing I would try to do actually, to be honest with you, is I would try to get a tower in one of your lanes. Like I feel like you haven't really been focusing too much on objectives. The only one was like dragon, which is really obvious for any evil. Like, yo, the dragon's up, let's go for dragon. So towers are something I don't see go down like below like gold 3 or something till like 20 minutes for some reason. So
mm,
towers are extremely important to give your team gold, and not only that, which a lot of people don't understand, is it pushes the minion wave. Like, say you get this top tower, instead of the
yep,
minion wave always sitting here, it's always gonna sit. Can you see my screen right? It's not
yep,
lagging
yep,
anything.
yep,
It'll always sit like right here. So like it not only gives you money, but it puts tons of minion vision is what it's called on the map,
yep,
which is tons of pressure for the other team if they're always stuck here. These two camps are now risky. This camp is even more risky.
mm,
So getting a tower for your team when you're that fed, like especially Eve, like Eve is so good at ripping towers when she's fed. You just E a creep and then you just beat on a tower with your attack speed buff.
yep.
What do you max? What's your max order on Eve?
QEW. Well,
Okay,
with
that's
the
fine.
R in there, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. That's fine. some people I've seen for some reason do W second, and I just don't like it. It's not good. Um, so yeah, that's fine as long as you know that Kiwi. But yeah, you'll rip towers. Like, also, what were you building this game? Like,
Uh,
what were your thoughts on what were you gonna build?
I went Rylai's next.
Okay, I like that's good because every gank's free after that if you start slowing people. What else?
Uh, I think I went Dead Man's Plate after that because of
Okay,
the yick.
why would you go that this game? Like, I'm just
Uh,
curious. Like, why do you think you would go
'Cause
that?
I 1v1 the Yi a bit later on, and he
Mhm,
hurt a lot. So I thought, Dead Man's for the armor and health, and
mhm.
also it still gives damage because of the stacks on the Dead Man's.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's smart. You get move speed and stuff too, right?
Yep.
So one thing I'll say about Deadman's is it's been nerfed like 4 times in a row.
Okay.
So like while it's not a bad item for Eve, the item in general is not good. And the
Okay.
reason is it costs so much money for the stats that you get and the passive damage it gives you. Like the cost efficiency of the item has just been lowered and lowered and lowered at like 3 or 4 patches in a row a
Okay.
couple months ago when they nerfed it. So, especially on Eve, I will say this is extremely important to know. If you do not buy a mana item, like I'm not talking like a mana regen item, a mana item,
Yep.
in long team fights, you are going to run out of mana every single fight.
I usually
Because
get Sheen, into a Sheen
okay,
item.
okay, that's what I like to hear. Because when you're against this team comp, the first thing I would get after Rallies is an Iceborne Gauntlet. This game.
Okay, so I should have gone that. I do go Iceborne quite often instead of Lichbane, just for
Mhm,
the extra,
mhm,
cooldown reduction and
mhm.
armor.
Yeah, that sounds good. Um, the
But if I'm
only
really
other
fed,
option I would have done
mm,
this, the only other like viable option, I would have gone Swifty boots.
I
I
do
don't
go
know boots.
Swifties.
Okay, yeah, I
I,
would have
I
gone.
always buy them on Eve because I don't see any other boots being worthwhile.
Um, some really like how do I put this? Experienced Eves will go CDR
Okay.
because um the Q spam gets a little bit better. Not obviously not like so noticeably because it's already low cooldown, but it's mostly because the ult. Like every team fight you could ever want your ult and the flash cooldown. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm saying some do it.
Okay.
I honestly haven't played Eve in like a whole 2 seasons or so. Like I just haven't really played much Eve.
If you put it towards the end of the game, you'll be able to see the items I go if you want to have a look.
Okay.
Just
I just
forward.
want to know like I just wanted to know like from your perspective like why you were buying things. I don't really
Yep.
care like exactly what you bought since you were so
Okay.
fed. It's like whatever. But yeah. So like I always like rallies early. The only other thing I would say is sometimes I would go abyssal
Yep.
first and then rallies. And this is only in situations where they have either an AP jungler and an AP mid or an AP top
Yep.
or AP solo lanes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So since you don't go MR in your runes, it's actually quite easy for this Vigar to kill you if he wasn't 2 and 6, you know?
Yep.
So when you're against double AP, you have to go an Abyssal early.
Okay.
The only other reason you wouldn't is if you're so fed, like you're 10 and 0 early game, then you just have the money for rallies right away. Because that
Okay.
early in the game, the rallies health plus your ult health, that early in the game will be enough to survive magic damage base damages.
Okay.
So, any other question about building before we move on?
Just the fact that I never go Rylai's and Iceborne in the same build, just because they're both slow, is it worth getting both?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to talk about
Yeah.
next. Since you already went rallies this game, the next item I would have built is Frozen Heart.
Frozen Heart. Okay.
Yes, they have auto attacker, auto attacker right here.
Okay. Oh
Aatrox.
yeah.
This is like the most. This is gonna be one of the most optimal games to actually build that item that
Okay.
you'll come across in a lot of games. So even Thresh like flays and he goes for autos a lot in team fights, like when he's not doing any hooks or anything. So like I know it's like not like the best item in the world, you know what I mean? For
Yep.
Eve, like when you people think about Eve, they don't think like, oh yeah, the Frozen Heart, Eve's pretty good. But this game, the item is just too optimal to not buy. And
Okay.
the main reason why I would say you should buy it is because you have champions on your team that do not buy that item. You have a
Okay.
Morgana. You don't have like an Alistar support or some Braum or some shit that's gonna build Frozen Heart ever. You don't have a top laner who's gonna build. You don't have a Maokai or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So this you have to always think about like it's like that's kind of like a next level kind of purchase, you know, but that's extremely efficient against this team. Like you don't if you get Rallies plus Frozen Heart, you do more damage. I know it's like hard to believe, but by not dying and slowing their attack speed, you'll do more damage than you would with a Frozen Fist because you'll
Okay.
survive a lot longer,
Okay.
and you get so much mana from Frozen Heart. So just always want to keep stuff like that in mind. Like what's like you don't always have to have a set build path, you know, every game. Like every game I'm gonna go Rallies into Dead Man's Plate. And I'm
Yep.
gonna be really fast. I'm gonna one shot people. But so just keep that in mind. Anything else about builds while we're on it?
No, it's just when I'm behind, and
Oh
I've got
yeah,
my
when you're
runic
behind is
echoes.
Eve. Huh?
Like when I'm behind with Eve, I usually go Iceborne Gauntlet, second item.
That's fine. I mean I would go Iceborne Gauntlet second eye in this game if they didn't have so many auto attackers.
Yep. Or I'll go Abyssal Scepter if they were AP and they were the ones that were fed and I was behind.
This game?
Not this game.
No,
No.
I mean if they had AP.
If they had AP, yeah.
If you
If
were
they were
fed or
ahead,
behind.
behind.
You would go Rallies into Abyssal when you're behind?
Abyssal gives MR, and it still
Yeah,
gives.
yeah, I know. But if you're behind, you're already building a tanky, like a damagey item. This gives you
Okay.
100 AP.
Okay.
Like building two damagey items when you're behind is gonna just make you lose the game. Like you're not gonna be able to do anything. The only way that it would be optimal is if you're playing it like I'm about to talk about, like when you want to like finish out a game that you're fed, and that's
Okay.
when you're split pushing and you're looking in bushes for picks on, you're watching the minimap for waves that are crashing, and you're looking for picks on the map. So like just from the position you're in right now, if I wanted to try to like carry this game and like in the game get towers, the
Yep.
first thing I would do is I would run behind this Trist, and once she bases, I would sneak into these bushes with your stealth, because you know what's about to happen to this wave. You know where it's going. It's not moving anywhere. It's going right here to this tower.
Yep.
So someone's gonna have. I'm not gonna let 30 creeps go. You know, somebody's gonna come farm that wave. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you just wait. You let them take their time farming. They walk up. Oh, there's another wave, and then boom, they're dead. Boom, you get tower. It's already half health. You just finish tower. It's dead.
Okay.
So that tower opens up. You get a tower will give you 400 local gold. You get 300 local and 100 for your team. So your team all gets 100 gold. You get 300 gold. It's like getting a first blood all over again.
Okay.
So then the pressure on that map will, then you could go top and do the same thing, or like set up another invade on their red that's coming up soon and get another dragon that should be up in a little bit. So just from getting that tower, the pressure you would get on the map is actually super high. So you always need to be like thinking about that when you're ahead, especially because Eve's an assassin. Like people forget that a lot in the like the longer the game goes on. They just feel like, oh, the early game stealth. I'm gonna do these really cool ganks. They don't see me coming. I'm gonna cheese level 2, but they don't think about like you still have that stealth in the mid game. Just because you're grouping up for fights doesn't mean you can't abuse your stealth mechanic. You know?
Okay.
Anything you need to know about that in particular? Because I feel like that's probably something that nobody really does below like plat. So incorporating that in your game might take some time.
When it comes to like mid game and stealth, I try to flank and stay behind.
Flank, yeah, that's
Yep.
really smart because that's like what I used to do all the time. It's really good to do in solo queue. It's like a common flank is like say you like run down this little
Yep.
lane here and you look for like a wraparound with stealth onto the group in mid, something like that. You know, is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Like wrapping around.
Yeah, so you can pick off their low carries that are trying to disengage.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can start a fight on their whole team with your big shield if you hit a multi-man ult. That's
Yep.
why you don't ever really go full damage, Eve, unless you're looking for that split push strat I was talking about the whole game,
Okay.
where you just assassinate. That's why I like items like most games on Eve. Like honestly, just gonna be straight up, I haven't played Eve in a long time, but the ones I've seen would usually go the damage jungle item into a Rallies or Abyssal, one or the other, whatever's more efficient for them at the time. And then if they're fed, they'll get the other one, Rallies or Abyssal.
Yep.
But if they're not, they'll just start building into tank items and look for flanks. Or if they want to just build all damage, they'll sit in side lanes and just look for picks, like I was talking about.
Yep.
Or they'll just wait for one person to be sitting here, like this guy is farming mid. They'll get the kill, then they'll go get an objective off of it, like mid tower.
Okay.
So you have to think about what you want to do in the game. Also, you have to think about like what their top laner is. This guy, is behind, and he's gonna be split. Like he has a split push build. He's got wave clear, pushing power. So you need to be able to build. You need to be able to kill this guy, or at least make it so he's not a factor in the game.
Yep.
Anything else about the split push?
No, that's fine.
Assassinations. Also really good to set up wards. I've noticed. I don't think you've bought the pink.
Yeah,
I
the pink's my one on the just below the where the Baron spawns. That's been there pretty much all game.
okay. Now I will say something about this pink. It's like not giving you any vision. So moving your pink to another spot would be good. The only place it gives, like literally, I'm showing you the vision it's giving you.
Yep.
This is the vision.
I was
So
trying to
the
get it so if the jungler
it's
was
all
crossing through there, I could see where they were.
yeah. You can see like here maybe
Yeah. Sometimes I put it, where the blue buff is, to the left. I took it so an angle
here
so you can see. Yeah. I put it on the
like
very
here
edge so you can
yeah.
see
So you
that
can see
whole
here.
area. Yeah. That's
That's
another
that.
place I
This
put
is
it.
decent. A little riskier, but the one I like doing when it's a little less risk, still good vision is see this tip of this bush right here.
Yep.
This will show you down here, which shows you people running into mid lane,
Yep.
and it'll show you people leaving wolves, and it'll show you people going to blue.
Okay.
So get like the thing about this ward is it'll get cleared a lot, right?
Yep.
Because they go to blue buff, they'll clear it.
Yep.
Thing about this ward is who's gonna walk in this bush?
Okay.
Like no one. Like who? Like it's just not as often visited.
Yep.
And you can see them still going up towards the top side, which oh, there's probably a gromp. You don't have to watch him doing the gromp. So you know where the area he's at. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So just keep that in mind. Pinks are extremely important to having good spots. This is not an optimal spot in my opinion. It's not really
Okay.
doing anything. Also, you can always buy more pinks even when you have a good pink out. Even if you have this pink out, I would still like for you to have a pink just in
Yeah.
case.
I sometimes stack my pinks,
Yeah, yeah,
especially when
exactly.
playing stealth champions where they can stealth, so I can drop it at my feet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's good. Smart. So just keep that in mind. You want your pinks. You can move them. You don't want to just always be like, oh, I have a pink out, so fuck it. I'm not gonna put another pink out.
Okay.
And especially when you get leads like that, like I was talking about, if you assassinated bot tower, you can get deep pink. You can get a pink like, sorry, my cursor's fucking up. You can get a pink like right here. And then after that, they're pushed in here. You have a pink here. You're gonna see like if there's more than one, you'd be like, oh, I can't assassinate him. There's only one. You just get another free kill and push another tower. You know. So using the leads you build for yourself and your team, like it's really important to like get more vision deeper once you get that. Obviously you can't do it on your own. You didn't go green smite, don't have a sight stone, but it's something to keep in mind on like junglers like Lee Sin or something. Like
Yep.
Nidalee, I build the green smite because I feel like she does enough damage when you're not snowballing. You don't really need the red smite. Like you can just get deep vision and then kill somebody by hitting a spear on them with a ward on them on the camp and then just jump on them and kill them. Like Lee Sin obviously goes green smite a lot because unless he builds sightstone. So
Yep.
just you want to keep it in mind. Deep vision's really important when you have a lead. Like you're really fed this game, so obviously you're doing really well.
Huh?
So you wanna take that lead and you wanna like end the game like within the next like 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? You just want it to be over.
Okay.
So that's our time. Hopefully some of that will help you out in the future. Just play some more games. Regardless if you want more coaching or not, just keep playing games. Like you'll get better over time.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yep.